find that there aren't enough hours in the day? Would you like to do more for God in the church, but you feel that you're stretched so thin that you can't add one more thing to your already busy schedule? Well, you're not alone. Many women struggle with balance and time management in their lives, homes, careers, and church service. It is my goal to help identify areas that you can improve on. Being a single mother that is currently working, attending college, and is involved in church leadership, I know the struggle in balancing your service to the Lord with your family responsibilities. Inactivity in the church has become a major problem in society, but God gives us each the ability to manage our time, talent, and energy wisely. I will support this statement by first presenting evidence that lack of church service is a problem in churches of all sizes. Secondly, I will show how important church service is to the Lord. And lastly, I will explain how examining one's lifestyle and priorities can lead to finding more time to devote to God. Now, let's take a look at the topic at hand. Inactive Christians are commonly found in churches of all sizes. Both large and small churches experience problems finding enough people to serve in the ministry without overworking the same people. According to Building Church Leaders Leadership Journal, many churches do not have enough volunteers simply because attendees are not specifically asked to serve in an area of ministry. The Hartford Institute for Religion Research says that according to their study of megachurches, 45% of attendees have never served in a church. This brings me to my second point. The Lord calls all Christians to service. According to 1 Corinthians 12, God has given us all spiritual gifts. He desires for us to use those gifts in unity in the church. Auburn's speech communication textbook states that God values our hospitality to others, and this can be seen in many scriptures, such as Isaiah 58:7, Matthew 25:35 and 38, James 2:5 through 17, 1 Peter 4:9, and numerous others. This brings me to my third and final point. In taking time to examine your lifestyle, priorities, and your time management, you may find that there's something you can do to be part of the solution. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, what do you really do with your time? And is it honoring God? Well, to illustrate this, we will use a theory that Nancy Lee DeMoss has presented in her radio program, Revive Our Hearts. The jelly beans will represent simple tasks in life. The cotton balls will be things that are important to God, spending time with Him, studying Scripture, serving others. And the bowls represent life. So if we take these everyday tasks, household chores, telephone calls, needs of others, and start pouring them in, we get to the end of the day and we realize that we haven't spent time with God. So we start to try to pile these things in, only to find that things are overflowing. But if we take the first part of our day and honor God by putting Him in first, and then begin our other tasks and to-do list, we see that it's a better fit. But maybe you do honor God with your time in your service, but do you ask others to do the same? Or do you spend enough time praying for God to send laborers to the church? This brings me to my conclusion. We see that there's a lack of people willing to volunteer in the church. We see that church service is important to the Lord, and that by self-examination of our lifestyles and priorities, we may be able to devote more time to the ministry or to pray for others to come forward. Take time to consider the information and ask yourself, What can you do differently? I encourage you to use your time, talent, and energy wisely. Examine yourself and see how you can make a greater impact on church and church service, either through serving yourself, praying for others, or simply by asking people in the church to serve alongside you. God will be honored by your service, prayers, and encouragement.